points in the last 7 minutes or so, and before he was going back in there for that stretch, I saw you go over to him when he was laying there. Did you say anything special to him before he was going back in there for that stretch?
I mean, I think when he's able to play about 6 inches lower offensively or sitting in a stance defensively, he's a step faster. And to remind him, you know, to play low. He's in an interesting sort of quandary predicament at times in that the games are his best and at times only opportunity to increase his fitness level. And so we're trying to walk that line of growing his conditioning. And in the environment that we have it, it's experienced mostly in games. And so what I notice as he fatigues, he plays more upright. And so just trying to remind him, you know, to play lower. I mean, he was dominant in the fourth period. I thought as a group we executed in the fourth period and learned from the Houston games. You've heard me talk about it pregame. But with Joel, that's the conversation.
A career high 6 assists for him.
And 2 turnovers. Like, I'm going right to the turnovers right now because I think it's all, you know, interconnected. The dots are connected to me with growing his fitness base is going to produce a more dynamic Joel Embiid. Even as good as he was tonight, I still think it's the link to a bunch of other stuff. You know, he's getting double teamed because he's that good a lot. How he responds to the double team and him quarterback in the gym, we can invite it, and it can be the best play we ever have. Get it to Joel and let him pick apart a gym and quarterback the gym. I thought he's doing better at that tonight. The 6 assists is true, but I go right to the turnovers, and he only had 2.
Ben looked like he was more aggressive in the second half, taking the ball to the hole. Did you see that? And what did you make of this game tonight?
I mean, I thought we couldn't guard them in the middle 2 periods. We felt as soon as which hasn't been the case. We've been playing really good defense. They're a fast team, you know, like Dario. It's a bad matchup for Dario. And I thought that just individually me and you stuff, guarding the yard, can you guard your man? We couldn't in the middle 2 periods. We started out really well. You know, we ended really well, but the middle 2 periods, you know, I thought as a group we were poor. I think Ben, as you mentioned, you know, closing out a game. I thought as a team, closing out a game and executing down the stretch to be able to, you know, let our offense catch our defense. Our defense was good in the fourth period. They had 16 points. And I thought it was like a perfect storm for us where we were good on offense, execution-wise, and we were good on defense. And it let us, you know, what was it, a 25 or 26 to 16 period.
Brett, JJ struggled to find his shot, but what is it about him that you wanted to have him in the game for as long as he was?
Because of the attention that he creates. Like, you're sitting there, and this is always the decision we have as a coaching staff, is do you go with Dario, do you go with TJ, or do you go with Jared Bayless? Tonight we were actually considered JJ because he was struggling a little bit. He had only just come back. But you're reminded that he, no matter if he's making shots or he isn't, the attention that he receives is prominent. You see it, and so it creates space. It turns it almost into a 4-on-4 game. And so I think in that action that we had him playing with Joel, maybe 5 or 6 possessions in a row, whether he's making shots or not, he creates attention. And he ended up making a big shot. But the attention that he gets and the spacing he creates is completely apparent for us.
Coach, you had 36 assists on 46 shots. Do you attribute that to the early good shooting? It seemed like it was a nice team effort tonight offensively.
And I thought we missed, you know, quite a bit. I think, you know, our mindset when we talk about good to great, you know, you got a good shot, but he's got a great one. And, you know, a 0.5 mentality. You got half a second. Do you shoot it, pass it, or drive it? And we don't want the ball being stuck. And so we call it popcorn. The thing moves. And tonight, you know, that volume of assists and sharing the ball, I really feel like that is the link to successful teams. Are they unselfish? And I think our guys, you know, do a pretty good job of it. We promote it. And tonight, as you just said, 36 assists is a big number.
The nine-man rotation, you think is just, I'm sorry.
No, you're right.
The 9-man rotation just easier to work with better in terms of
A little bit. You know, we go into the games, and I think that without Markel, you know, like it frees things up. You know, I've candid conversations with, there's three guys. It's Justin and Nick and Timmy. And I'm going to give the lion's share of the minutes to one of those three. Maybe one of the other guys gets some smaller minutes, or they don't, which was the case tonight. And, you know, that rotation that we had, plus it was more of a small ball game, like Dario probably played fewer minutes than he's, 20 minutes for that reason. That's the decision we make as you game plan.
How aware is Ben of what you were talking about pre-game, that body ball thing that he drives and he kind of leaves himself available for either a block or he doesn't draw contact because it's not in that position?
I mean, he understands it well and he's improving. You know, it's not something that we made up last week. We've been talking about this since we've had him, and he's getting better, as evident with that thing that we all saw. What was that? Wow. Like, that is a dunk. You know, straight line, wow stuff. But in general, the evolution of him, body ball, and just beasting people and really trying to overpower people with his size, and the confidence once he gets fouled going to the line. We got to issue, making sure that we got to improve our free throws as a team. But he's getting better, and he's fully aware of that.
Coach, in the fourth quarter, you guys, I don't think Atlanta scored until like the 6:36 mark. What was working for you guys? What was working?
Really just the recognition, the acknowledgement that we couldn't guard them in the middle two periods. And there are some things on pick and roll adjustments that we made with the big being up, and we missed a few on the rolls. We didn't really tag well behind it. There were some things we talked about in relation to the shifts behind the pick and rolls. We talked a little bit about, Schroeder and early offense. He's a hard guard. He's an elusive, dynamic, water bug. But by and large, it's just like we talked about with John. It's just sitting in a stance, playing a little bit lower as a group. And at whatever point you guys decide we're going to guard, we're going to win, because our offense and sharing is not too bad. And they zoomed in, they zoomed in, and in the fourth period, like I say, our defense was as good as our offense, which didn't happen in the second and third period.
You mentioned the inability to guard for 2 quarters. Do you think it's a good sign that you can talk about that in a 10-point win as opposed to last year's, when you were looking for positives sometimes in losses?
I do, Rich. I think these games, when you come back from a road trip, and, we got in at 4 in the morning, you have a day off, you try to wind them up this morning, get some blood flowing. Historically, you've learned, even with like veteran teams, it's a different mindset. It's a different physical ability, I think. Like, this is my 17th year doing it, and it seems to happen often. This was a challenging game. To be able for us to talk about that now and complain about one thing and still find a way to get a 10-point win, that's a good thing. I think that the group responded to our home court, coming back home, and I think the fourth period served us well, both sides of the ball.
More guys? Yeah, getting that first home win, what does that say to the young players?
I mean, you go to Houston, you go to different places and you look at the crowd, and, there's good crowds, but it's not this crowd. It is not the crowd that we have here at the Wells Fargo. We have, for the most part, sold out gyms. And to come into our own gym and have the fans be a part of what we're doing, like I sit there and watch the tape, and that's one of the things I was reminded of watching the Houston game, like, wow, we're going to come in on Wednesday night, it ain't going to be that. There's not going to be any empty seats. And to be able to come here and share what we're growing with our fans, let them experience some of the joy that we haven't had in previous years, this is a good thing. We want our home court being loud and proud, and we want to, give them something to cheer about. And tonight, I think, especially in the fourth period, we did. Thank you.